Testing. Yo, we are getting wubby today. It is a deep WUB Wook Bass type of day. How to distinct motive. I was at Lost Lands at the crater, dancing to the wubs, feeling the bass of distinct motive, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's time. So we remade Mellow Man by Distinct Motive, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to go over how I made this. There's multiple basses too that we're going to listen to, and this full project will be in my Patreon if you want to get that and support me as well. Otherwise, let's just get into it. Let's check this out. Bass number 2. Hey. Bass 3. Hey. Yo. You know, that's how we get it done. We are going wubby. We are also using the Wook Bass pack by Avant. It was kind of a great starting point. I got one of the patches and modified it a lot so I can get it deeper, get it wubbier, and we're going to go over that. Also, the sub is doing a big part here. We have a little bit of pitch bend going on both the sub and the basses. Remember this section right here, this is 8 bars. And at the beginning of the 8 bars, we have us walking down the scale. We're in D sharp minor. So our root note is D sharp. That's the main note that we're playing here for our basses and our sub. But before we play it, we walk down the scale and we go up pretty high. So from D sharp, we go all the way up above D sharp to E sharp. We drop down to C sharp, drop down to G sharp, go root note D sharp, and then play D sharp again. So go ahead and check that out here as well. So walking down, simple pitch movements. Really, a distinct motive keeps it simple. Really, he has a couple different elements, but they're very clean, clear. This track itself is only like -10 LUFS, so it's not even that loud of a track either. Just keep that in mind. Drums are simple too, right? At the beginning, we go 4 to the floor with the kick to go in time with the basses. And then it goes back to just regular rhythm style. Kick and kick clap combo. One of the most important things is one of the claps needs to have like a nice delayed tail. It's almost like a tonal delay tail on this clap. So we chose this, turned it down, and then added another clap to add a little bit more beef, tighter, punchier. And we combine both of them together. We will be turning them up some with some compression. And right before the clap, we have a little water droplet, and this is adding some flow and groove. The little vocal up here too is helping. Awesome. So if we go into the main patch here, this is going to be our starting point. This is the main bass playing, and then we have the sub. Sub is very simple, just analog BD sign with wavetable position turned all the way up. The LFO is affecting the level. We have this quarter note flow. There's no effects on it. Very simple sub. We just make it fatter with the kick tight, tuned to our root note right here, D sharp 0. Low pass it, cutting it here at 175. Saturation, 10 dB drive, -9.5 dB output, and 36% dry wet. We turn it down a little bit at -2, and then low pass it again to just clean up the signal further. Before, we don't want that much harmonics, so we're just keeping it clean sine wave here. A little bit of the harmonics. So we really want our sub to be about here. Nice, clean, fat, big sine wave, and then that will flow with the bass. Like I said earlier, we started with a patch, the Wook #1 bass memory. and then we modified the patch. So I want to show you what the original patch looked like and sounded like, and then we'll go over, the basic concepts of the patch and how it's creating the sound and what we did to further get it into the zone we want and how we can further make new basses with it. So if I reset this, this is what it sounded like. So this is our starting point, right? A saw wave, Monster 7, they're both playing. The LFO is on both levels. And then we have this filter. Notice this filter allows all the high frequencies to play with this LFO. But if we turn it down, we can get it like darker and deeper by removing the high frequencies. So this is the general idea of what I was going for, trying to get that deeper wub. If you hear there's like some high frequencies going on, we're going to turn off the sub to alleviate that. Make it a little bit cleaner. So this is the basic idea. I found that patch, it sounded nice, and then we modified it. So if we go to the one that is actually playing, we got the filter and we put it on 32, this amount. So I have Monster 7, wavetable positions 154. The levels, the LFO on the levels are going up 53 on oscillator B and then 82 on oscillator A. Wavetable position is at 154 on oscillator B, and then randoms are down on both of them. Resonance is turned up 26% on this filter. We're using MG Low 12. So the basic idea is have a cleaner wave like this saw, and then a dirtier wave. And then we're filtering out the highs, just letting those lows play. Lows and mids. The effects section is doing a lot. So we're going to be first making it wide with the hyper dimension. We're just using the dimension at 17%. The formant filter is going to be basically the main star of the show here. If we turn it off, it's completely different. This formant filter is giving it those resonant peaks that is needed to create the vowels and the talking movement of the bass. The patch here has a macro control for the formant. So whenever we want to, we can easily change the tone and the vowel of our bass by moving this knob. So this is really powerful. Of course, you can automate this in your track over time and have different basses real easily in different phrases. So that's going to be doing a lot. Big formant cutoff is at 36 hertz there. Then we have distortion, just tube distortion, 92%. We need that. Off. On. Multiband dynamics, this is on, but the only thing we're doing is turning the threshold down to 0. Release is at 90, text 90. A little bit of reverb at the end. Hall, the size is 13. Decay is 4.7 seconds. The macro here is controlling the reverb. As you see, a little bit of reverb on that. So this is the first one that I really like with the sub. So that's really nice. Then we have this one. Even deeper. We use the same patch, but we modify it further. We get oscillator B and we move the wavetable position all the way down this time. We change this wavetable to a sine wave instead of a saw. And this time we turn on FM from B and actually allow some of these frequencies to go into the sine wave. 28% is FM from B. This cutoff is important. This is at 40. Still not letting those high frequencies really cut through. Fine balance on this. Like if we go down. Lots of different combinations there. All these modified patches and the original patch will be in the Patreon so you guys can get them. And the effects section is all the same. This time though, we turned up the formants. It's up 24%, so we're allowing a little bit of different vowels to come through. If we put this back on 0, very important knob right there, that cutoff on the formant. So then this, you know, basically same thing, a little bit of modifications. We're just making all kinds of different wubs. And then we have this other one. Another preset that Avant has is the talker, and it is awesome. This time we can visually see what the formant filter is doing. So check this out here. We got ooh, ah, ooh in the vowel. So this wavetable is doing a lot already. It's kind of crazy how much we can change. Just look at this downsample, higher, and formant macro. Filthy. Formant. So many combinations, infinite bases at this point. Hyperdimension, 11% mix, 21% dimension. We got downsample, of course, being controlled by that macro. And then the compressor, multiband on, threshold down a little bit to negative 8.4. Main thing is this formant filter. If we turn it off, turn it back on. So this cutoff knob's at 88. It's going up 36, resonance up a little bit at 10. And once again, this is making those vowels, really doing some heavy lifting. Hey, you know, that's about it, man. Like I said, we're keeping it simple. Distinct Motive is really going hard. He's making us dance in a clean manner. It's all about the sub bass. When we're at the crater, we're feeling the sub the whole time. And if you have a clean sub, man, we are good to go. One last thing that I want to go over on these is just the post-processing. If we go back to the main original one, you'll see that we have multiband dynamics. This is turning it up on the inputs, 6 dB each, and doing slight compression on each band, but we're only giving it 33% dry wet. We're using saturated to add more harmonics, 3 decibels of drive, 46% dry wet. This is turning it up even more. EQ8 is then cutting all the lows at 141, cleaning it. Then we add reverb in parallel. And we have this one. This chain has the reverb, 20%. 1.91 seconds, and this chain has nothing on it. This is dry. The reverb is turned down -2, so we have both signals playing, reverb signal and dry. This makes it louder, and it's clean verb. And then lastly, we make it wide. So when I was listening to his songs, his basses were wide, and his sub was like in the middle, almost by itself. So if we turn the Haas effect off, you'll see how much it goes in the middle. Let's view it too. Then we turn on the Haas effect. It spreads out, goes wider in the stereo image. So this is very helpful. And this is the processing chain, the simple chain that I use on all of the basses here to get it loud, get it clean, a little bit of reverb, and you know, call it a day. I hope you guys like this. Wubs and deep wubs are going to take over. We are going into Wook mode. You guys keep on producing, keep on grinding, and keep evolving. Ask me questions at any time. Hit me up on Discord or Instagram, and I got you. Otherwise, have a great day. I'll see you later. Peace.